You're not too old. You're not too late. You are just getting started. By day, I'm a healthcare innovation attorney, but all day, every day, I am the liberated lawyer, and I am on a mission. I help high achieving women to break free from the boxes that success built so that they can finally live a life that is fulfilled, fit, and free. I'm Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes, Harvard trained attorney, the PhD in organizational leadership, award winning author, TEDx speaker, bodybuilder, senior model, and your go to badass girlfriend when it's time to reinvent, reset, and rise. From the boardrooms to the bodybuilding stages, I've lived life in the end, where we don't have to choose between being successful or fulfilled, but we can tap into the power of our choices and be successful and fulfilled. And now I coach other powerful women to make powerful decisions that align with the life they desire and deserve. So, if you're ready to stop settling and start designing the new you that is ready to step into the new life that awaits you, you're in the right place. Let's get it. Now, I have been introducing the successful and fulfilled woman, a woman who is fulfilled, fit, and free. And each of those pillars, fulfillment, fitness, and freedom, has beautiful petals that open up and allow us to live our lives fully. We've talked about the fulfillment petal, our relationships, family, friends, love, and purpose. We've also talked about the fitness petals, fitness, focus, and faith, the alignment of our mind, body, and spirit. And now I want to delve into the freedom petals, finances, fashion, frolic, and freedom. Now, you may think, how do these things go together? They go together because each of them is based upon our ability to use our choices to create the life we desire and deserve. Let's be honest. In order for us to truly be free, we have to have financial freedom. We got to have our coins together. And we're not focusing on coins, y'all. We talking about bills. We need to have our paper together, right? So finances and financial freedom allows us to live from power and not under pressure. Money reflects our worth, but not from a purely material perspective, but from the ability to operate independently of other financial influences such as debt or dependence on another or dependence on a job for our freedom. So when we get our finances in order, when we exercise discipline over our resources, we are able to truly step into the power of our choices. Now, fashion. This is my favorite, I must say. I love fashion. And I don't love fashion purely from the aesthetics of it all, although certainly that is a fabulous component. But here's what fashion does for women. Fashion is our way of expressing ourselves through our clothing. And when we look back over history, fashion has often been used to confine us to societal norms. Our fashion has in the past and can be in the present limiting in that it physically limits our abilities to fully engage in life, and it limits our ability to express ourselves and designates us to uniformity that is defined by these social norms. So I believe that every woman ought to embrace style as self-expression, not for the sake of vanity, but for the sake of visibility. You have a brand. Whether you are consciously developing that brand or inadvertently developing a brand, or you have accepted a brand by default, your fashion speaks for you. And I want to empower women, especially women that are in our golden ages, to develop a brand consciously and for ourselves. Just because you are approaching 50, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, 70s, whatever, that does not mean that you cannot dress in a way that makes you feel beautiful. You don't have to resort to moo-moos, but you know what, girl? If you love moo-moos, put your moo-moo on. You don't have to dye your hair. But if you love letting your grays shine, style those grays in a way that makes you feel beautiful. If you want to put on clothes that are bright and vibrant and maybe short, girl, put those things on. You are not confined to a style because society says that women in their 50s need to look like this or that. You get to choose. Fashion is your brand, it's your self-expression, and it is your way of being visible in a manner that befits your personality, your style, your values. Next is the frolic petal. Frolic is the art of engaging in fun. And high achieving women, we work really hard. We check all the boxes. We're doing all the things. We've got the list. But girl, are you on your list? Is fun on your list? Embracing frolic is embracing your right to play. You deserve to play. You deserve to experience joy. And frolic simply is the power of enjoying the fruit of your labor. You work hard and you deserve to benefit from that in a way that brings you joy. You deserve frolic. Just like you schedule work, you schedule obligations, schedule commitments, you need to schedule a time for frolic. We should enjoy life in this life. Life is too long to be unfulfilled. Why are we waiting for the afterlife in order to experience joy? We need to experience joy through frolic right now. And last is freedom. The freedom petal simply is this. The freedom petal of the freedom pillar is your ability to use the power of your choices to define life on your own terms. It's that simple and yet that complex. At this season of our lives, we should have the freedom to decide how we want to invest our time, what choices we want to make, what choices we want to refrain. The spaces that we occupy, the freedom to occupy these spaces fully without shrinking or drawing back or worried about what someone else is going to think. Child, what they think is on them. But you have the freedom to fill up the space around you in a way that brings you joy and fulfills your purpose. And then finally, freedom in our voice. Your voice is powerful. Are you allowing your voice to be silenced because you're worried about what someone else will think? Or you are allowing someone else's exercise of freedom to restrict your own? It is time for you to fully embrace the freedom of your time, choices, space, and voice. So I have to ask you, where are you playing small? Where are you imprisoning your life and not realizing that you hold the key to everything you desire to do? Everything you desire is possible. It may be difficult, but it is not possible. And it is on the other side of you exercising the power of freedom in your time, choices, space, and your voice. So as always, I've got some questions for you. I asked one, where are you playing small? What would you do and how would your life be if you weren't afraid of looking foolish? How we express ourselves often can be a risk. It is a risk to decide in a corporate world to dye my hair blonde and to put on all of my piercings in my ears and to show up in bright, vibrant colors in a space where gray, navy, black is considered appropriate. It is time to move past propriety. Where are you sacrificing joy and your full expression for the sake of propriety? Where are you shrinking so that others can shine? Where are you shrinking because you are afraid to shine? How beautiful would your light and your life be if you were truly free to shine like the bright vessel that you are? It's time to free yourself. You have permission to unlock your life, to step fully into the life you desire and deserve. I'm going to tell you, when I stood behind that register at David's Bridal, dressed in a St. John knit and Jimmy Choo boots, making $11.75 an hour, I felt humiliated. I was a Harvard-educated lawyer with a PhD who had once led corporate boardrooms, and now I was selling wedding dresses. I was selling wedding dresses to women whose futures looked brighter than mine. But I was not losing anything. I was not humiliating. I was not less than. God was using that humbling season to soften, shape, and prepare me. I wasn't being punished. I was being positioned. Because the women I serve today aren't just looking for a strategy. They're looking for someone who understands their silent suffering. And I've lived through it all. I've lived through divorce, career collapse, financial loss, depression, and deep spiritual doubt. And yet, I have freed myself from the mire of those disruptions to step into the fullness of my purpose and who I was meant to be. I used those devastations to deepen my purpose and to align with my divine assignment to help women reclaim joy, purpose, and freedom. And I'm not here because I figured it all out. My life is still a journey and my purpose is still unfolding. But I'm here because not only have I survived, I am thriving. And I am committed to this evolving journey of becoming the best and highest version of myself. And now I want to use that light to help someone else find the light on their path to fulfillment, fitness, and freedom. So I'll end with another question. What does the free version of you look like? How does she dress? How does she expand her territory? How does she move? And how does she stride through this life in the full confidence of knowing she is free because she uses the power of her choices to unlock her full potential? Well, if you are searching for that question and you believe that you are not too old and it is not too late to be free, then you know what to do. You should book your revelation conversation at everythingideserve.com. You may be approaching or in your midlife, but girl, let me tell you, this is the time of your life where you can tap into all the experience to truly create the life you desire and deserve. You are not too old. It is not too late. This is the time for you to be fulfilled, fit, and free.